G'day guys, this is Lol Tomo here again with another Sonic the Hedgehog item review. As we all know, this little blue guy, Sonic the Hedgehog, is currently watching TV, so we better not disturb him as much. But we'll get straight into the item and just put him aside for now. This item that I'm about to show you is, I guess, one of my most favorite items, simply because of how unique it is and just the overall. I'll show you now and go from there. This is a Sonic the Hedgehog toy that is won through a, I guess, Sega game theme park called Joypolis. Now, before we get to the actual item, as you can probably tell, there's not much, but before we get to the actual item itself, just a little brief history. Basically what it is in Japan, or in certain parts of Japan anyway, there are like gaming stores. Like in Australia we have a thing called Time Zone. In the US I think they have a thing, I think in the US and the UK they have a thing called a GameWorks. Basically it's just a massive theme park of just video games. But in Japan they have a thing called joypolis. Joypolis, I think that's how it's pronounced, whereby it's Sega made, Sega funded, and it's basically just a theme park that just has Sega intellectual properties. Now the first one opened in 1994, so this item dates roughly about 1994, which is quite weird because it was actually created before then, but we'll get into that a little later. So in terms of the actual theme park itself, the idea behind it is you put money in, you pretty much, yeah, you put your money in, you win a couple of tickets or coins. I'm not too sure what exactly in the nature of that, and yeah, you can redeem it and you get an item like this. This is what I've read, this is what I've seen. I don't know if this is the case because there are small discrepancies of the actual item itself that kind of, I guess, begs to differ. But look, before we get to those, we'll get to the actual item itself. So this is pretty much how it's meant to come in. Once you win, this will be supposedly standing on a stand, and you'll be like, mommy, I want that Sonic the Hedgehog. So you win it, and this is pretty much it. There's no other additional packaging. I guess if you're really a hardcore collector, or a collector in general, you could just buy the item in its original packaging, which is just a normal plastic and just a little, I guess, metallic swingle thing. Not needed really, like you can't really tell the difference. There's no, I guess, authentication. But yeah, we'll get straight into the item now, and because this is by far one of my favorite items. Okay, check it out, and voila. Now, as you can tell, this is by far one of the most cutest pieces I've ever seen, just because of the size. It's pretty, it's a solid thing. It is a money bank, and the reason why it's one of my favorites, to be honest, is simply because you don't, with all the Sonic figurines and Sonic attitudes that's currently out there, you always have him running in a pose, saying cool, awesome, that sort of stuff, but you never rarely see him sitting down, sorry, and just relaxing and just with the biggest cutest smile ever, just happy. Because we all know that everybody, regardless if you're fast, slow, whatever, you do get tired, and this clearly depicts it. There is another one just like this, similar to this, where he is sitting down. I'll review that later, but with this one, the reason why is because this one doesn't have a face of like attitude or smirk. It's just him casually sitting down and just happy. You know what I mean? It's just, what more could you want from a Sonic the Hedgehog character? Now, as I mentioned, it is a money bank. The money does go inside and it does pop outside. Now, I don't know what sort of coins they use in Japan, if at all, but with the Australian, I guess, coins, some of them, like the 50 cents and all that, are way bigger, so you're going to have trouble basically putting it in and taking it out. So, I don't know, maybe Japan has him. In terms of articulation, all he has is just his head. Yeah, so very limited, but you can move his head around, which is pretty adorable, I suppose. Now we'll just move it in just a bit, and here we go. We have Sonic the Hedgehog, we have his adorable little nose and his smile, and he's got like little ears. I really like the actual design. It's just, I think it captures the essence of the original Sonic the Hedgehog. At the back you have, or the side here, you have all his spikes, and you have his chubby little ass sitting on, I think it's a basket, I'm not too sure, to be honest. He has these big shoes, very shiny, and at his legs, and at the back you have his little tail, you have more spikes and all that. Really well detailed. I really like this item. Now, as we mentioned earlier, Joypolis was opened up in 1994, and the very sellers that I have seen from this say or claim that it was from that store or from that thing. But if you look here, I'll see if I can get it. Okay, that should do it. It says copyright Sega 1991 Korea. Now, copyright, as you can imagine, is when the first license of Sonic came out. So it's from 1991. That's when the original Sonic the Hedgehog came out. Normally, with most items, when they do that, it's the day when it's actually manufactured. It's still very plausible that it was one in there and they just copyrighted since all the way back. But I don't know. It's a thought, I suppose. It makes no difference, but it is a thought. But yeah, it's very adorable. It's definitely there. They don't make these anymore from that Game Workshop store. A game theme store, or the Sega theme game store, whatever it is. So these are pretty hard to find these days. Now, in terms of rarity, I'll probably go for roughly about 6 stars out of 10, simply because they do pop up and it's not very hard not to find one. The only interesting thing about this is the price range for these stagnates or pretty much levels at the $200 mark. I got my one for roughly about $250, I do believe. But it never goes down below that for already, but it never goes up. For an item that's supposedly about 10, 20 years old, it's I guess you would expect, well, me anyway, when I got this I got super ecstatic because I like this item so much, because I like the fact that it actually shows a superior character who actually needs to rest, who actually needs to sit. But yeah, it stagnates roughly about $250 Australian dollars. US, I'm not too sure. Pounds, they're all less, well, I guess pounds are more in Australia than compared to Australia. So yeah, guys, very good item for Sonic collectors. I highly recommend this simply because of its overall, you know, not for necessarily articulation. It's just a well done, you know, money bank. As I mentioned, there has been another one which I will review, which I wouldn't say is my favorite, but it's okay, I suppose. So yeah, you are looking at a release date roughly 1994. Rarity is 6 stars out of 10. Price ranges between 250. You could get a little less, but you could get a little more. So it stagnates roughly at that price. So yeah, if you like this review, leave me a comment and tell me what you think. If my, I guess, facts on this item are correct or incorrect, let me know. I'd like to know. Or you can always request certain items depending on what you're after, and if I have it, I could definitely review it. So yeah, guys, have a nice day and always speed on.